All right, let's talk about something that is absolutely crucial for anyone with a website: search engine optimization, or as we all know it, SEO. Look, if you want people to actually find your stuff online, you gotta understand the fundamentals. So let's dive right in.
Does this feel a little too real? You've spent weeks, maybe months, building this amazing website. It looks great, it works perfectly, you hit that launch button, you wait, and crickets. It is so frustrating, but believe me, it's a super common problem, and the solution is way more in your control than you might think.
And yeah, that solution is SEO. The best way to think about it is this. SEO is about making your website speak the language that search engines, like Google, understand. It's not about secret tricks or anything like that. It's just about making your site the best, most relevant answer for people who are searching for what you have to offer. When you get that right, the game totally changes. You stop having to hunt for customers because they start finding you.
Okay, so we're going to break this down into a few key parts. We'll start with the one where you are completely in the driver's seat, on-page SEO. This is all about the changes and the optimizations that you can make directly on your own website.
You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to imagine your website is a real physical store. On-page SEO is like being the best store manager ever. It's making sure your main sign is big and clear. Your aisle markers guide people exactly where they need to go. And your product descriptions are so good people can't help but be interested. It's all about making the experience amazing for your visitors.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it really just boils down to a simple three-step plan. First, you've got to figure out the exact words your audience is using to search. Second, you weave those words into your content and your tags. And third, you clean up your website links, your URLs, to make them super clear and easy to understand.
First things first, keywords. This is the absolute foundation of everything. You have to get inside the mind of your ideal customer. What are they actually typing into that Google search bar? I mean, if you're in the healthy food business, they probably aren't just searching for food. They're getting specific, right? They're looking for healthy meal plans or nutritious recipes. Your first mission is to find those exact terms.
Okay, so you've got your keywords. Now what? You have to put them in the right places. And the most important spots are your meta title and your meta description. That's the little preview everyone sees on the Google search results page. Putting your main keyword, like healthy meal plans, right in the title is like a billboard. It shouts to both Google and to searchers, hey, this page is exactly what you're looking for.
And hey, don't sleep on your URLs. This is such an easy win. A messy URL filled with random numbers and codes is just confusing for everybody. But a clean, simple, descriptive URL like this one, it does two amazing things at once. It tells search engines what the page is about, and it shows users exactly what they're about to click on. It's a tiny detail that builds a whole lot of trust.
So, that's on-page SEO in a nutshell. It's everything you do on your site that you have direct control over. But that's really only half the battle. To truly get to the top of the search results, you also have to build your website's reputation off of your site. And that brings us to the other side of the coin, off-page SEO.
This next piece, off-page SEO, is all about building your reputation out there on the wild web. It's about showing search engines that your website is trustworthy, that it has authority, and that it's a valuable resource. It's what other people think about you.
Let's go right back to our store analogy. If on-page SEO is what you do inside your shop, off-page SEO is your reputation around town. It's the word of mouth, it's the glowing reviews, it's the buzz that makes people say, oh, you have to check that place out. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room.
And the undisputed king of this online word of mouth is something called a backlink. A backlink is just when another website links to your website. But here's the magic. Every single one of those links from a good, reputable site is like a vote of confidence. It's another site telling Google, hey, these guys are the real deal. You should trust them. Things like writing a guest post for another blog or getting featured by an influencer are golden opportunities to earn these powerful votes.
So what about social media? Now this is interesting. Likes and shares on their own aren't going to magically boost your Google ranking, but think of them as social signals. When a post of yours goes viral, or even just gets a lot of shares, it creates a ton of visibility and drives a wave of traffic to your site. And more traffic and more visibility often leads to, you guessed it, more of those precious backlinks. So it all works together.
All right, we've organized the inside of our store, and we've built up a great reputation around town. Now, it's time to go under the hood. We're talking about the foundations, the engine room. This is technical SEO, and it's all about making sure your site is a smooth, fast, well-oiled machine. Technical SEO is like your building's core infrastructure. You don't really think about the plumbing or the electrical wiring until it breaks. You don't notice a stable foundation, but you definitely notice if the automatic doors take forever to open or if the building isn't easy to get around in. It's the exact same for your website.
Number 1, speed. Seriously, nobody has time for a slow website. We've all done it. You click a link, and if it doesn't load in like 2 seconds, you're gone. Google knows this, and it heavily favors sites that are fast and responsive. The how might sound technical, but it's often about simple things, like making your image files smaller or minifying your code, which just means tidying it up to be smaller and faster. Every millisecond counts.
And this next one? It's a total deal breaker these days. Your site must be mobile friendly. It's not optional anymore. The majority of searches happen on phones, so if your website is a pain to use on a small screen, you're losing a massive audience, and your rankings will absolutely tank. The standard fix for this is called responsive design, where your site just automatically and beautifully adjusts to fit any screen.
Okay, here's a slightly more advanced but super powerful tactic. It's called schema markup. The best way to think of it is like giving Google a secret cheat sheet for your content. You're adding special labels that only search engines see. So for a recipe page, you can label the cook time, the calories, the star rating. And what's your reward? Google might pull that info right into the search results, making your listing pop with what we call rich results. It's an incredible way to stand out from the crowd.
So, you've done all this hard work. You've dialed in your on-page, you're building your off-page reputation, and your technical foundation is solid. But how in the world do you know if it's actually working? That brings us to our final, critical part, measuring your success. To bring our store analogy home, these tools are your analytics. They're your sales reports telling you what's flying off the shelves. They're your security cameras showing you how people move through the store, where they get stuck, and what they ignore. Without this kind of data, you're just flying blind. You're just guessing.
And here's your essential starter toolkit. The best part? The most powerful ones are completely free. Google Analytics tells you who is coming to your site and what they're doing when they get there. Google Search Console is like a direct line to Google. It tells you how they see your site and if there are any problems. And then a plugin, like Yoast for WordPress, is like having a helpful little SEO coach that gives you a checklist for all that on-page stuff we talked about.
And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of SEO fundamentals. We've looked at the on-page factors you control, the off-page reputation you build, and the technical foundation that makes it all possible. All that's left is to actually start. So, my question for you is this. What is the very first step you're going to take this week to help your amazing website finally get found? Thanks for tuning in.